I want to give you a brief of the current situation with regard to the incident of the medical health that happened at the Sacred Mukumu Girls High School. On Tuesday, 28th of March this year, I received some students from the Sacred Heart Mukumu Girls High School who were brought to the Kakamega County Referral Hospital for medical treatment. Most of the students presented with symptoms of acute fever, diarrhea, vomiting, and abdominal pains. Most of the girls were treated as outpatients and released. However, some developed severe disease and have had to be admitted in the hospital. A situation which initially appeared as an isolated event has unfortunately escalated into a major health crisis. We have lost 3 girls and a teacher to the disease outbreak. As at today, Friday, the 14th of April, a total of 350 cases from the Sacred Heart Mukumu girls have been listed by the county surveillance team as having experienced similar symptoms across the county. Out of the 350 listed cases, 287 have been managed as outpatients and released, while 63 were managed as inpatients at different times in different facilities as listed below. 35 were managed here, and out of the 35, as we speak right now, we have 5 cases in the ward, and I'm happy to announce that one of our girls who came here last week have very severe symptoms is being discharged this afternoon. So we have 4 cases have moved around and they are in a stable condition. 17 were admitted and released at St. Elizabeth Mukumu Hospital. 7 were admitted and discharged at Oasis and Mumias St. Mary's Hospital. 4 were admitted and 3 were discharged, and 1 is still in hospital, but in very stable condition. Now, out of the 5 cases here, there's 1 girl that we are lifted to KU Hospital. That was 2 days ago, in collaboration with the Ministry of Health, National Government. And I'm happy again to report that the girl we are lifted to Nairobi, she's in a very stable condition and her situation has improved. We have also a report of 12 students who have been admitted in various hospitals in around 7 counties as follows. 2 students in Nairobi, 1 student in Trans Nzoia, 2 students in Kisii, 1 in Bungoma, 4 in Uasin Gishu County, 1 in Bomet, and 1 in Vihiga County. The team from the national government and the county have had a series of laboratory investigations. Blood samples were taken, stool samples were taken, food samples were also taken, and as at today, what is causing our girls to have those symptoms appears to be contamination from food and water. For the bacteria that has been detected actually is because of contamination of food and water. What are we doing as a county? Number 1, I want to direct the management and the board of Mukumu Girls High School to destroy all the foodstuffs that they have. That is the maize, the rice, the beans, etc. Because we cannot afford to expose our girls to further disaster. Number two, because of the water contamination, I also want to direct that all the water storage facilities be cleaned and the water be chlorinated, because as our girls are at home, definitely we are bound to take those remedial measures. We also take cognizance of the fact that some of the students also still reside within the compound, and also teachers still reside within the compound. And that's why it's important for the water tanks to be cleaned thoroughly and chlorinated. Number three, we urge our parents out there, wherever they are, to take our girls to the nearest government facilities for thorough medical checkup. One thing that we've seen is all our girls who came here early enough, they have really improved, and that's why it's very important that any student presenting those symptoms are to take early checkup in our government facilities. And the cases we have seen here, or other cases we lost, like the teacher we lost yesterday, Madam Juliana, she was meant to be lifted to Nairobi 2 days ago, but the family preferred to take her to a private hospital, that is Life Care. So her condition deteriorated when she was being transferred to MTRH. I think because of the outbreak, what we are just trying to request our parents is we should not procrastinate on this matter. Anytime we present those symptoms, we quickly seek medical examination in a nearest government facility. Number four, the Department of Public Health has rolled out a county-wide inspection of all schools and learning institutions to ensure that they meet health requirements. Over 24 high-volume secondary schools have been inspected. And we have also intensified food quality control in all the food outlets and eateries within the county. This is extremely important because as a county, we are taking now remedial measures on matters of public health and sanitation. And lastly, we have intensified personal hygiene and sanitation education and water, sanitation and hygiene education to all our learning institutions. And this is extremely important, including ensuring that all the food handlers have gone and had medical examination so that they actually present medical certificates. We cannot trust anybody handling the food of our kids when they don't have medical certificates. So members of the fourth estate, I thought it's important just to appraise you on the current situation. But what I want to urge our parents and Kakamega people out there is that we should not panic. This is an outbreak which is being managed, and the cases we have, we are seeing very encouraging improvement, so there is no cause for alarm. I want to thank you, and if you need any clarification, we are here to give you the feedback. Thank you very much. We are actually speaking the same language because the laboratory tests which we are taking on the samples for food and water, of course, they brought out the fact that there's a lot of iron in the water that is being consumed. And this is water within the school. It cannot be water from the springs, because if it was water from the springs, then it would be having the neighboring schools and other facilities being affected. And we've been waiting to get these results, and that is why preliminary results were just demonstrating a bacteria. But you see, for us, we don't just want to hear about bacteria. The most critical thing, so that we get proper remedial measures, was to establish the root cause. So the bacteria we've talked about from the results which we got from Kemri and Nairobi, which have been corroborated by the national government. is contamination of water and food. And that's why the remedial measures of destroying food and even changing the suppliers of the foods which are supplied at Mukumu Girls is what we are now directing the school management to do with immediate effect. Thank you. Maybe I want to confirm here today is we are taking this matter very seriously. And I can assure you that we have a surveillance team. There will be no cover-up. Because the first thing that I've directed is that the suppliers must be changed. That is something that we are not going to compromise. Of course, when you look at the earlier symptoms of malaria, it was all sounding normal. And that is why we've been waiting for the further analysis and the results from Cambridge, which have indicated that the root cause could be the iron from the contaminated water and food. And based on the results that we have received from Cambridge, it's now upon ourselves to direct those remedial measures. And I can assure you we have a multi-sectorial team that has been formed, comprising of officials from the county government and also from the national government, which includes security officers. So this is a matter that we are dealing with it from all fronts. It's not just a medical issue. We have security officers there, we have education people there, we have the public health, and of course the county has also the surveillance team. So we are going to make sure that all the issues we are directing today are going to be affected. We cannot on the health of our guys. You can take it to the bank that we shall follow through to ensure that the supply of food is actually from suppliers who are credible, and more importantly, we'll even go a step further just to ensure that the food that is now being procured must be tested first and certified to be safe for consumption. Those are, as I told you, we don't want to just look at an individual. All this is going to be done, especially once we get a full report, so that when you are directing action to be taken or criminal capability, as I said, that multi-sectorial team has also security personnel. We want to come up with a comprehensive way forward so that those who will take criminal liability will do so. Those who will be sacked, that report will make those recommendations. And that's why I don't want to preempt the action that we are going to take. Thank you. Why I see as a governor, I may not have those details. But as I told you, all those specifics are going to be reported by the multi-sectorial team. And based on that, then we are going to take specific actions. Because you don't just want to take action without facts. Since the issue of food has been cited, we are going to look at all the supply chain of the foods that are delivered at the school so that the specific individuals take responsibility. I think that is fair enough. Good info. Again, to condole with the family and friends of our 4 loved ones that we've lost in this pandemic, and of course to assure them that as a county we are going to support them, and we are also going to make sure that we take proactive steps just to ensure that we don't have further death reported from Mukumu Girls.
Maybe about Butere Boys, Governor. What happened? You said 10 days ago that the results will be out in 3 days.
Butere Boys, what came out, of course, was malaria. We've not received any other cases of admission. But of course, we are not taking chances. Since I directed that all the public schools, we have sanitation being taken seriously. It's one of the schools that is included in the 24 high volume schools, that we have done proper inspection so that we actually be proactive enough not to have a situation like what we've had in Mukumu girls. But so far for Butere boys, there's no cause for alarm. Thank you.
Sir, we still want to talk to you, sir. Hey, we want to talk to him now.